Alright, so one of the things to remember with when it comes to enjoying of our El Dorado range or any spirit that you have, El Dorado of course encourages you to sip responsibly, and that should cover everything you do. So please enjoy it, but enjoy it responsibly.
I think a lot of people must look up to you, something like a godfather that's just helping. You do so much humanitarian work. I mean, other than your businesses that you're running very well, successfully, you're also giving a lot back to the country, to humanitarian work, to the less fortunate.
But you know, when I started Emerald Bank, people thought I was crazy, especially some of the people in the system.
Now, that was the first private sector bank in Guyana?
That was the first indigenous, grown locally,
Okay.
private sector bank. Because all the other banks were formed from overseas.
Okay.
So this is the first, and it has done extremely well, I would say.
What made you decide to go into the banking business?
I always wanted to get into banking, but first when I applied for the license, the previous government, I didn't get it. Then later on I applied again in 94. We got a license in January 1994. The bank was started, we had to put in a new building, the whole new structures and so forth. We have to find the people, train them. Was able to get a few good people in the beginning. And that was the beginning. Today it's we have branches now, 2 in Berbice, 1 at Rose Hall, 1 in Curriperton, 1 at Anna Regina in Essequibo. We have 1 at Diamond.
I saw it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and 1 is now going up at the East Coast, at the near East Coast, not too far away. And then we have the central head office in Georgetown. So yes, we've come a long way.
You have 8 locations for your bank.
Yeah. And you know, we come a long way from whence we started. In fact, I wouldn't say it's the most profitable, but in terms of its size, it's highly profitable.
Well, I saw the bank in Essequibo, I think a few years back, maybe about 3 years back.
Yeah.
And I just came in from Guyana 2 days ago, from New York to Guyana two days ago, and I saw the bank in Diamond, and it's the establishment, the building is quite impressive. I was surprised to see that right in Diamond. They're really building up over there. Now, people could go into that bank and get loans, let's say a mortgage
yes,
loan.
they could deposit, they could get loans. Let's say if you want to do your house, let's say you want to put in a new house at Diamond, you got a house lot.
Okay.
You come in and we'll negotiate with you, give you a reasonable
rate
of interest. And reasonable means reasonable, because for housing, yes, those loans you get some tax breaks. So yes, that's done.
Now, new home owners, they get tax breaks.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Not new homeowners.
Okay.
If you're low,
How does it
to
work?
get a house lot,
Okay.
you have to apply, and then when you get a house lot, you want to borrow. The bank will lend you, or you go to any other institution.
What's the turnaround time on a mortgage, let's say? Or a
Well,
loan?
it depends, you know. Most mortgages is 15 years or 20 years, but it's not too long term, because long term, we don't go 30, 40 years, no.
And approval, so high rate approval?
No, we
Okay.
get a good rate of approval. I would say our approval rating is quite high. And I think as a bank, we've come a long, long way in a short space of time.
Now, at the Monument Garden, I heard that you have a remake of the Hesper ship?
Yes, we had in fact, we had a competition in 1988 of what a monument should look like.
Okay.
And competition was countrywide, and most of the entries illustrated a ship.
Okay.
And we decide finally that it's going to be a ship, a sailing vessel. And prize winner was not it was an Indian, but he was given the $25,000, which was a lot of money then, in 1988, for the prize winning entry. There was a second prize, third prize, and then we were looking around for a site. Finally, we found the relic site in Camp and Church Street, which used to be the old waterworks, and it was in a horrible state, bushes as high as you could see. It was very low-lying. So we decided, after we couldn't find anything, we decided to approach the then mayor of the city council, and he was gracious enough to say, yes, if you all convert it into a garden and you keep it in a good condition, I will grant it to you, and that's it.
Excellent.
That was duly done, and we had to weed the place down and then fill it in. One of our members will tell you, Mr. Ishmael Bacchus, that we had to put in there about 3,000 tons of sand and earth to fill it up, to bring it to a level it's higher than the road now, just so that it wouldn't flood. Then we started putting in the plants. So it was a lot of work went into there, and then the monument came. We had some help from the Indian government there, because I had approached the Vice President of India, who later became President, Pandit Shankar Dayal Sharma.
Okay.
And he says, gave me the name of the persons. So I was traveling a lot in those days. So I was in India in 1989 as part of a mission. It was a government mission on trading relations between India and Guyana. And during that, one of the breaks, I went and see this. I had to wait until 9 at night. And that's the time when he came in from all his other work. And I said, this was our agreement. He said, yes, he knows about it. And he sent an architect here. We had our own architect, Albert Rodriguez, whom we converted to Albert Singh. He was good, it was great. And, and then we started the whole structure. We were able to get the ship done in India and shipped. And
shipped here.
Yeah. In the meantime, we were preparing this structure, the infrastructure for it. And, that's the story.
Wow. Well, I haven't seen it yet. So
Yeah,
before I leave, I definitely have to go there.
Yeah. Tell me when you want to go, okay? And I'm sure we send somebody with you.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to ask you a question. Is there any place that we can go and see the names of the people who actually came on the first ships?
We don't have all the names, only some of the names.
Some of the names.
I have a list here,
Okay.
but not all the names.
Okay.
Because remember, lots of the records went
They're
missing.
lost.
You could say they were stolen, I would
Okay.
say. Because the British was very thorough. They maintained records. When you think you're going back, if you go to the UK, they have records that goes back to Doomsday. Doomsday is around the year 10,000 or 1,010, and then 1100. You could find records.
Wow.
They were very thorough in maintaining records, the British.
So throughout your years in Guyana, how would you say the country has grown?
It has grown, yes, somewhat, but it could have grown a great deal more. That's my opinion, of
Right.
course. There's no reason for Guyana to be a poor country. This country has so much. And we have one big thing in our favor. We have a small population. But we are losing our best people. They're all going overseas. And there was a time when they'll come back and stay in Guyana, but in the last 25, 30 years, things have, and it has it's not getting better, it's getting worse because over 80% of all the graduates from UG, they leave and go overseas.
No, you didn't leave. You
Well, I
studied.
left. I spent some long time overseas too.
You
know.
studied, but you came back.
We have to put in the infrastructures, make it attractive for people to wanting to stay here.
Wanting to stay and develop the
And
country.
create jobs, create opportunities, do things. So that, more and more jobs will be created and people then want to come back.
Right. Where would you say you will see your companies in the next 5 years?
All I could say, I want to say grow, continue to grow into the future. Because without growth, you become stifled and then you recede. We don't want to see that in this company. I have people who are going to take over for me, all set, and I know they're going to pursue the same path, and they have been pursuing the same path over the years. So I'm very optimistic the company will continue and even be more successful in the future.
You're indeed, I think, one of the most established business tycoons in the Caribbean. For new entrepreneurs coming aboard in business in Guyana, what advice from someone like you would you give them?
Well, whatever you do, try to do it well, apply yourself, and if you're studying, study diligently. You have an objective and work towards that objective. Because nothing comes easy. You got to strive. There's stresses involved. You have to have determination, perseverance to succeed.
All right, so one of the things to remember when it comes to enjoying of our El Dorado range or any spirit that you have, El Dorado, of course, encourages you to sip responsibly, and that should cover everything you do. So please enjoy it, but enjoy it responsibly.